Anything Helps is my title of the presentation today. I hope I could convince you in accepting part of my point of view or all of my views on panhandling issues. On biblical point of views, I quoted from Romans 13 verse 1. It said that every person is to be in subjections to the governing authorities. For there is no authority except from God, and those which exist are established by God. And the other one I quoted is from Psalm 37 verse 5, which is, God never let the righteous forsaken or his descendants begging for bread. The headlines on Phoenix New Times dated June the 2nd caught my attention. I'm glad that Governor Ducey has signed the bill into the law to ban the panhandling in Arizona. The broad definitions of a beggar has now been expanded to go beyond the monetary form. They show up in the area where people going in and out. I feel intimidated sometimes when passing them at night. It's not only me concerned about the safety. Some people also concerned about their safety when they're passing them. So despite of the legal provision offered in a First Amendment to protect their speech and conduct, there should be a ban on all kinds of panhandling activities in a city. Traditionally, beggar was defined as a person who asks for something, and the tax was passive, less aggressive, and barely has any contact with the donor. However, the tide has changed that the new form of beggars now includes the more belligerent tactics, to the extent that there is a focal appeal. These tactics, according to Masony, including the physical begging, harassment, threat, and intimidations with more contact with donors. They also use the non-focal appeals of signals, postures, children's, animals, or props such toys and musical instruments. Henderson mentioned that these appeals manipulate people to gain sympathy, fear, guilt, or insecurity for monetary gain. Recent statistics shows that 82% of beggars are homeless. 80% of them will have or have spent some forms of jail time. 44% they have experienced drugs and substance abuse, and only 3% inclined to get off the street. On this slide, I'm going to take you to my points why they should be banned, why the panhandling should be banned in a city. Number one, panhandling or the beggars, they create a negative image of the city. Panhandlings discourage the tourism, and they also stimulate criminal acts. The last one is they intimidate pedestrians at night. Let's take a look at the first point, why we should ban the panhandlings in a city. The first reason for the call to prohibit the beggars within the city is founded on the basis that begging activities ultimately cause a tainted image of the city. For example, using the model of the city of Manhattan, the image projected with the allowance of beggars' activities according to Rowe the peace and liberalism will be eroded. Now let's take a look at the second reason why begging acts needs to be prohibited within the city limits. It is primarily because they discourage tourism. The fact that beggars are 80% of the time homeless, they will always present as dirty and insanitary individuals. The dirt and insanitary status of the beggars ultimately come out as intimidating the tourists who come and visit the city. Now, the downsides of the tourists will not contribute positively to the economy of the city through the tourism. The final call to ban the beggars within the city limit is simply because they stimulate criminals arising in a community. Beggars, especially in a big city, is equivalent to the act of robbery with violence, since in both cases, it merely relies on intimidation to work. The image of the city even worse because the beggars have been known to be the harbor of the thieves and other illegal behavior. On this slide, I'm going to propose the plausible solutions to shift begging activities outside the city. The first solution is relocating begging outside the city. Creating a job training center. The solution number 3 is increasing job opportunities. And last one is to open thrift store for locals. Let's take a look at the first plausible solution. The first solution lies in banning the begging activities within the city limit. They can do their panhandling outside the city. This model solution has worked in other cities, especially in European countries. This exact mechanism allowing a secure distance between the city center and the beggars' activities. There is a protected business and tourism environment to maximize the foreign exchange to occur, then the result will be the booming of the economy of the city. The second practical solution can be applied in creating a job training center. Within the numerous solution models, the creation of a job training center has been lauded as the best move since it offers more lasting solutions for beggars. The last solution is creating thrift stores, which coordinated by local cities where beggars can manifest their abilities in crafting, beading, or simply making coffee and baking cookies. The city also can involve the community to donate their used clothes, furniture, and other second-hand items to support the store and giving it back to them. In conclusions of my presentation, I am going to summarize the facts that these beggars create a negative image for the city, discourage the tourism, and also stimulate the criminals in the communities. Therefore, there should be a ban to put in place for their activities in a city. The solution offered including to ban them, to open up the job training center, and also open up thrift stores involving the community are considered the best solutions for a monster problem like beggars. Only through these plausible and practical solutions we can effectively deal with the major problem in a city regarding beggars and redirect them into something positive. Thank you for watching.